The Dowager Princess froze at Aurelia's words, all colour draining from her face. Edith, ever vigilant, immediately poured a life-saving pill gifted by the Empress Dowager into a porcelain cup and brought it with water to her mistress. "Your Highness," but the Dowager Princess waved her off and turned her attention to her granddaughter, trying to soothe her. "Silly child, it was only a dream. Dreams are always the opposite of reality." "This dream was far too vivid, too terrifying," Aurelia whispered, her voice trembling. "Grandmother, I saw the entire court look down on our family for having no men left to defend us. I watched as Mother hurriedly sent my younger sisters away under false names, swearing never to contact each other again. I saw Mother, unable to clear our family's name, hang herself in prison along with the aunts, leaving only a blood-written letter behind. I was so afraid." The grief and fury in her eyes startled the Dowager Princess. "Don't be afraid, Abao," the Dowager Princess cried, pulling Aurelia into a fierce embrace. "Don't be afraid. I'm here, I'm still here." Aurelia stayed by her grandmother's side for a while longer, comforting her. But no sooner had she left the room than the Dowager Princess collapsed onto the divan, clutching her chest and coughing up a mouthful of blood. "Your Highness," Edith cried out, catching her as she slumped and quickly dabbing at the blood on her lips. "Someone, fetch Physician Huang at once." The Dowager Princess grabbed Edith's hand, shaking her head and whispering through clenched teeth. "Has our Bao gone far?" "She's already out of earshot," Edith replied, voice breaking. The Dowager Princess's grip loosened, tears falling freely. "That child, I raised her myself, I know her heart. She must have feared I wouldn't survive the truth and made up the dream to prepare me. She wouldn't have brought such ominous nonsense before me otherwise." Edith sobbed with her. "You must hold on, Your Highness. If her dream proves true, we'll need you more than ever." "Hold on? Of course I'll hold on." The Dowager Princess's eyes burned bright as she braced herself against the low table, sitting up straighter. "If every man in the White family has fallen on the southern frontier and I collapse too, the House of Jen will truly be left to be trampled. I must endure, for our Bao and for all the children." Edith nodded quickly, tear-streaked. "Physician Huang is here. Let him examine you. Your health is vital now." The Dowager Princess gave a faint nod and closed her burning eyes. The pain of imagining her husband, son, and grandsons lost to war tore at her soul, but there was no time to grieve. Not yet. She had to plan before the truth reached the capital. Aurelia had just exited when she spotted Daphne, the fourth daughter, returning on horseback with Eleanor and Florence, the fifth and sixth daughters. The three girls cut a striking figure in their dark red riding habits, laughing as they came in from the snow, their joy ringing like silver bells in the frosted air. Everyone in the capital knew that the daughters of the House of Jen were unlike the cloistered young ladies of other noble families. Here, the girls were trained to ride horses, wield swords, and carry themselves with spirit and boldness. Daphne spotted Aurelia under the corridor adorned with red silk and dashed over. "Big sister!" Eleanor and Florence followed, giggling. "Big sister!" Seraphina chuckled and dusted the banister before helping Aurelia sit. "You're feeling better?" Daphne asked eagerly as she sat beside her. "If you can come out even in the snow, then when spring comes, you'll take us riding again, won't you?" "The instructor is too boring. He never lets me ride freely." Eleanor and Florence, identical twins barely 10 years old, looked like porcelain dolls, their hair styled into charming buns. Aurelia's chest ached at the sight of them. Still innocent, still safe. In her past life, Charlotte, the third daughter, and Daphne had gone into exile under false names, swearing vengeance. Eleanor had died trying to assassinate Prince Lysander. Florence and Genevieve had been thrown into a brothel by that same man. But now, they were still here. Still laughing. Tears stung her nose, but she smiled gently. "Did you like the plum blossoms I sent yesterday?" Eleanor beamed. "Mother said you're sensitive to cold, but those red blossoms were so beautiful. I just had to send them to you in a white jade vase. I loved them." "The flowers my little Eleanor picks are the prettiest," Aurelia replied warmly. "And me too," Florence chirped. "I made window cuttings for you. They look perfect on snowy windows." "I gave some to Aunt Lynn too. Mother said she's expecting and misses Uncle, so I should cheer her up. You did beautifully, Aurelia praised. The twin, chubby babies you cut were so cute. I'm sure she loved them. Turning to Daphne, she grew serious. Beatrice is marrying tomorrow. I need your help with something. Daphne straightened. Say the word, and I'll do it, even if it costs me my life. Tomorrow, when the Marquis of Valor's family comes to escort the bride, you must lead the maids and servants to block the gate. We can't let them think that just because our men are away, they can take your second sister without a challenge. The House of Jen must never be underestimated. Leave it to me, Daphne declared proudly. When it comes to being difficult, no one in the capital can beat me. Aurelia smiled faintly as she spotted Lu Ping in the distance. Now, off with you. Grandmother's called in the court painter to make portraits of us sisters before Beatrice leaves. Go look your best. The three girls bowed and left obediently. Lu Ping, a stern-faced man nearing 40, bowed respectfully. Eldest miss, you sent for me? Yes, Uncle Ping, let's walk. She rose and stepped away from the corridor. Seeing her grave expression, Lu Ping said nothing more. He took the umbrella from Seraphina and shielded her from the falling snow. She clutched her hand stove tightly and kept her steps firm until they were out of earshot. Only then did she speak. Last night, someone sent me an anonymous message. They want to meet tomorrow at the Hour of the Snake in Zuian Alley on Chang'an Street. They say they have news from the southern frontier.